Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Many of us do it and we don't even know that we are doing it. But after we do it, we most often, many times, regret doing it. And I'm referring to the people pleaser. When we just throw it out there that you want to help somebody and you really don't want to, but you're doing it. And there's many different reasons, no judgment here whatsoever. We're going to start with that today, and that's going to go in many beneficial directions, some insight as well, and that's coming from her. She is an amazing psychotherapist that works with all different people, couples, families, individuals, to kind of figure this stuff out. One of them is people pleasing. Susie Engel back on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Steve. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
Real good. Real good.
Yeah.
This is I am a reformed people pleaser.
Yes.
I realized that I was doing it for years, decades, and then kind of cut back, I guess, put up boundaries. I'm careful, when I throw the offer out there.
Good.
And I'm going to give an example that's fresh in my mind. Can I?
Sure.
Because it kind of bothered me. Very fresh. Have a friend who lost a job. And I've been friendly with this person for 3 or 4 years. And, we've supported each other. They know my story. I know their story and all of that. We get together with other friends, whatever. So out of nowhere, I reached out and I said, hey, listen, are you still searching for a job? And they said, yeah. And I said, looking at anything? And they said, yeah, there's a certain job of this organization that I'm looking at. I said, oh, okay. Well, listen, send me your resume, send me details on the job. I know somebody connected somewhat to that organization. They're a VP. I'll reach out to them. So this person sent me their stuff, and I reached out to the person and sent all the information over. Then I reached back to my friend and said, hey, listen, I reached out to them. Good luck. I'm hoping that something pans out, but it's on their radar. They're going to send your information to the talent acquisition department and really push it to the top of the stack. And that's it. There wasn't a thank you. There wasn't an acknowledgement. There was nothing. Still waiting. That's over a week ago.
It's out of your hands.
Now I could reach back. I could do the proverbial somewhat, I don't know. I don't want to say aggressive, just put a question mark a week later.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just like, they must be busy. They got a lot on their mind. I'm going to let it go. And yeah. I did my thing, but lesson learned. I don't expect a lot in return, but a thank you, or it's like, oh, thank you, because I didn't have to do that. I just took a favor from somebody to help them. What are your thoughts there? Tell me. I'm really curious.
There's a lot involved in this example.
Really?
But
Okay.
what I really like about your animation, I'm hearing my feedback again, but your animation in terms of your facial expressions and all that is you really did put out a good gesture. People pleasing or not, you offered some help or support. You reached out to this friend and you did it. I said out of your hands, you offered, you did what you said you would do. And to me, that's the period at the end of the sentence. Now you were just your facial expression, and I'm picking on it a little bit just for the audience sake, was a little bit of anger and a little bit
yes,
of, hey, like just common courtesy. Why didn't I get a response back? So what I'm saying is a lot of times people offer and it comes with, and I'm not saying this about your situation, but in general, it comes with some resentment or some anger involved, or let's distill it, the owed something. And I'm not saying this about your particular situation, but the flavors of that give us pause to think through when we offer or reach out. And if we reach out, and I like also what you said at the beginning of our conversation before I jumped in, is you are on a spectrum of evolving around people pleasing, which by the way is a defense. Most people don't know this,
Mm.
but a people pleaser is an aspect of us that we've adapted throughout our history, starting way back in babyhood, childhood, toddlerhood,
Mm.
babyhood, toddlerhood, childhood. Let's go chronologically. and then
I'm
it
still a toddler, but
strengthens,
whatever.
but it does. Well, and there's nothing, we all have different aspects of ourselves.
Sure.
But the people pleasing is actually a defense, and we can talk more about that.
I think we
when
should
some-
at some point.
Yes, yes. And when we offer our energy to somebody, it doesn't come with anything more than that. That's like the most adaptive way. If I'm going to offer to help, if I'm invited to a party, I would really love to just be a guest. I don't want to offer. I don't want to offer to do anything, to bring anything, to help clean up, because very rarely do I get to kick my feet up and really enjoy just a situation that I have no responsibility for. And for me, that's the essence of being invited someplace without my guilt or history of having to say, can I help? Can I bring? Now, if I offer to help, I must really want to help.
Right. Or it's your connection to that person. You might have a different connection, a closer connection. There might be a reason, whatever it may be. And I get that we should never expect something in return. And I'm going to say in this, and let this go, the job situation, cut them some slack. Maybe they didn't see my reply, whatever it may be.
And you did say that. You said maybe the person is busy, maybe, and I am very sure this person is probably experiencing some level of overwhelm, and it's not a personal thing that that person hasn't gotten back, unless it's a personal thing because that's the pattern. That's something you would expect from this person because they're like that. And that's okay too, because everybody,
Yeah, we all
kind
got
of
different things
is.
going on, and I don't expect anything more. I let it go here. I have invited this person and others to do different things and involve them, and even drive where I really shouldn't have to go pick them up for things like that. So it's more of a, again, like I said, reform people pleaser. Like it's you gotta kind of read the situation before you offer, as you said. Sometimes we just automatically do it. We don't even know that we're doing it. And then
Well,
it bites
and
us.
that's the defense. That's the defense that is so deep in anybody's unawareness that needs to come to the forefront. And quite frankly, if I offer to do something for somebody and then notice that I feel the emotion of resentment, that's really, really good information because it's saying, Susie, listen to us, listen to your emotions, listen to all of us. Something's not sitting right with you.
Mm.
And think through the next time you offer if you're going to feel resentful afterward. And that people pleasing as a defense is so embedded in so many people that they don't even understand that it doesn't sit well or it's obsolete at this point in their evolution or this point in their development.
Well, can we talk about that? Because I've never seen it as a defense, and I'm looking forward to you explaining that. I always saw it more as you don't put a high enough value on yourself, or your self-worth is low, so you go above and beyond so that others will see value in you. And on the side note, they'll be there when you need them too. That kind of thing. The defense
True.
I'm out. I have no idea where you're going to go with that. I really don't.
Right. So now let's think about early, we already said babyhood, toddlerhood, childhood. And let's say a caregiver, a parent, a friend at school, a bully at school says something and we've internalized, but now there's a pattern of these experiences. And when the person, let's say very early in age, inadvertently, even, of course, a parent says or does something, the child's, um, I'm saying defense because there's almost a stress response, or not almost, there is a stress response that puts the child in fight, flight, freeze. Then that becomes an adaptation of the people pleasing. I can't I can't fight with my caregivers. I can shut down or freeze. I can run away and hide under a desk. A lot of children do that, or hide in the
Mhm.
corner, but I can't fight my parents. And it's not a great pattern to run away from our parents because we're dependent on our parents
Can I
or
share something that I
or
learned
caregivers.
recently? Where
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard recently. So fight, flight, freeze. You said it.
yes.
It's kind of well known. There's another F that I heard, and it's fawn. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, which is people pleasing. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I
Right.
heard.
I mean, there's hundreds of others that fall in this category, which is a defense. So fawning is people pleasing. Fawning is play dead. Fawning is a lot of things, right? I mean, people pleasing and fawning don't have to be the same thing, also. I mean, I wouldn't really say they are the fawn, but fawning is that dependence out of insecurity, which is fear. So I'm pointing to the way back in the subcortical, the fight, flight, or freeze,
Mm,
the fear of rejection, the
yep,
fear of disapproval, the fear of aloneness.
yep,
So I will fawn.
yep,
I
yep, yep.
will people please. I will do anything for connection, or even if it's just empty connection, because this person likes that I'm being people pleasing. And it's not coming from within me, from my own agency. It's coming out of insecurity and necessity, externally driven.
Totally get it.
And all all these defenses play, they pop up in our lives unconsciously until we bring it to the consciousness. And then we develop, like you said, I'm reformed. I'm a reformed people pleaser. So, other people have said, oh, develop a volume switch for it. The more you notice about this, the more that natural volume switch will come into play.
Hmm.
And if I'm triggered, maybe the volume switch will go down to low and I'll be all people pleasing again. But
So,
the
okay,
information,
question.
I could go on and on and on.
So,
Yeah,
all
but
right, here we are. Somebody's doing this. They're offering themselves back and forth. Sometimes there's a good reason that you're doing it. If you go invited to the party, hey, can I help you with anything?
it's
Maybe
beautiful.
there's a reason. Maybe it's a close relative and you really mean it. But Susie, how do you process it? How do you, before it comes out of your mouth, how should you sit with it and analyze it, really process it, whether you really mean it or it's the autopilot thing clicking in?
Great. And so the more we become our own agency, the more we're aware of ourselves, the more this becomes natural. So
Hmm.
then we're like, wait a minute, do I really want to offer help? It's on a Saturday. I've got all these other things I want to, whatever we debate about ourselves, it's, is this the best scenario for myself? Not in a selfish way, but in a mental health way.
Hmm.
Because if I'm going to offer to help and somebody really takes me up on it, I want to bring my best energy to it. I want to say, Great. I'm so glad you pinpointed what I can
Yes.
do.
Yep.
And I want to bring that aura, that energy, that just selflessness in a healthy way. Not, oh my gosh, why did I open my mouth? What did I do? I haven't the time, and now it's at my expense. And you know, a lot of us, a lot of we therapists, a lot of EMDR therapists, they know that a clinical theme is being overly responsible at my expense. We teach this to our clients, and our clients become aware.
It is one of the most uncomfortable feelings there is when you said yes, and now that moment has come where you need to make good on the yes, and it's going against your grain, and you're, why did I do that? It's like I can't even describe it sometimes. Like you kick yourself. Yeah, that I know
Yeah,
I shouldn't have said
and that's
yes.
good.
All right.
And
Hmm.
that's good. Kick yourself, wake up. Remember for the next time to take that pause and think through, is this an old defense on autopilot looping, like you mentioned earlier, or is this really a conscious, natural offering? The key is though, if you offer to help or offer to do something and you feel like they owe you or you're angry about it, it's a good learning experience.
Mm,
Remember that for the next time. We should not be doing anything that causes us that angst.
yeah. Yeah.
And and you had mentioned as a hypothetical, what if somebody calls at the last minute? And now you put it out there and now you're totally inconvenienced. It's really at your expense.
And that's a
You
tricky
mentioned,
one because it's you almost can't get out of it. But
no, and we shouldn't because
but
we ought.
okay, so you're
We
asked to
need
do
to,
something.
yeah. And last minute,
Okay, the response. So, in my understanding, no is a complete sentence. You don't need to give any more. Many of us, no, because I blah 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 blah. Is it
oh,
okay?
great. That's a beautiful right-hand turn. So yes, if somebody says, not because we offered, now that's a little different. We didn't offer, and somebody says, can you do this? And I say, no, that is a complete sentence.
It's very
It
uncomfortable.
really,
It's very uncomfortable for the people pleaser that hasn't figured this all out to just say no. Is it okay?
no,
I'm asking
yeah,
to
perfect.
so it
It's great
feels
to be able
is
to say,
is it okay to say I'd really like to, but I'm sorry I can't. To put a little bit before it to make it a little more comfortable for you to deliver the no.
if you,
is that all right?
if that's true, like if you'd really like to and you can't, I think that that's authentic and great. I think that saying no, it won't work out,
Is it okay to say
I
I'm
just
sorry?
don't know.
I'm sorry I won't be able to. And you're being truthful there. Why won't you be able to? Because I'm gonna watch a movie on my couch. That's truth. You're not
Yeah,
lying. I won't be able
but
to.
why does
You don't have to
somebody,
share that.
no, and why does somebody have to explain that?
I'm no, I
So
got you. The no is a complete sentence, and this is baby
yeah,
steps. Baby steps,
yeah,
Susie.
yeah.
Like in the beginning, it might be uncomfortable for you to say no. There's nothing wrong with
It
that.
will be.
It will
Yeah,
be. So
yeah,
I'm kind of slowly getting to the no, the strength to just in the future start delivering the no by tempering it a little bit. This even say I'm sorry, I won't be able to. So it feels a little bit better.
yeah.
Granted, it should be a no, but I'm trying to work us into that for somebody that always says yes.
Yes, I see the modification. I think that this is another whole podcast for us. Uh, you know, needing to be needing to apologize. I love not being apologetic.
I agree with you. It's authentic. Apologize
Yeah.
if it's true,
True.
or the no is the no. But let's say on your schedule you got something else going on. No, I'm sorry, I don't have that time open. You're being truthful. You don't have to just say no.
This is this is a this offering help. So let's go back to the original topic, not that we're so far straight, but just for this sake. When we offer to do something for somebody, that is a trust as well. So if the person says, yes, please, could you do this and that? Now, the ramifications for ourselves, if somebody offers and that person takes you up on it and you feel angry or they owe you, we have to revisit this because it's good information. If parents do for their children and then twist it as if the child owes them, we've got another layer of
Mm-hmm.
issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very evident in parenting. And parents don't really see it. They really have a blind spot for it. The kids don't, but the
Right.
parents do.
And in my examples before, I was referring to when somebody asks you to do something. I'm not saying that's this. It's different for the offering. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
somebody
I know.
asks you.
Yeah, that was the second part of your examples was if somebody asks you, you can do something or not to do something or not to do something. You can say no, or you can say, I'd be happy to. But really, the idea is how well do I know myself authentically to be able to answer that in a nanosecond, or do I have to pause and weigh this out? So you're right, but that was the right hand turn when you said, what if somebody asks you to do something?
But once you've made the
That's
decision in your
different.
mind, you've gotten the courage. Now you've moved
Commit.
forward a little bit, and it's in your
Yeah.
mind. You're like, I ain't doing that. I'm no. But sometimes it's hard to say no. And I'm not saying come up with excuses or anything. No, I won't be able to. Instead of no,
Yeah.
I know that
I like that.
I'm going
No,
deeper
it
here,
doesn't. Yeah.
but
No, I
no,
won't be able to. No, it doesn't work out. I like
right.
all that.
Yeah, it's just a little easier for us to deliver, the no is a complete sentence. Hear me out on that. But to make it a little easier in the beginning, and you're being truthful, no, I won't be able to, in parentheses, because I don't want to, close the parentheses. You're never going to say that, but that's, it's just,
No.
it feels a little
Yeah.
easier. I know we're splitting hairs here, but
Well, no, I like the conversation because it's not splitting hairs. It's just that everything is complex. It really is complicated or complex or layered. And the other thing is this, if it's a sign of trust if somebody says, can you help me in this way? And I need to say no. I might also say, I'm so glad you asked.
ooh,
I like that a lot. That's very natural because if this person feels open enough to ask for a hand
we
or
we
a little,
we're out of time, but we just turned the car here because that is very nice. Now
yeah,
you're showing gratitude, and you know what? It's nice to be asked. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it every single time, but I'm so glad you asked. But I won't be able to. Done. And
yes,
you don't have to give the harsh
beautiful.
no. It's just it's a little
Don't be
so,
afraid of no, though.
don't no no. But I agree with you. Don't be afraid. But I'm the baby steps to get there. I'm thinking this could be a part
Yeah.
2 at some point here,
Okay,
because
let's do it next week. Part
and you know
two.
what? For the reason that you said, fundamentally, you're doing it for a reason. There's a defense here. This is all going back to your childhood. Susan Engel lcsw.com. Engel is Engel. Susan Engel lcsw.com. Thank you for today. Again, I say it every
Thank you.
time we get together. Here's a little topic. I don't know if we can do a full podcast. And where are we at this juncture? It's like we didn't get to everything that we should get to. within this. It's crazy.
We have a whole lifetime.
And we do. And it was no fluff. I mean, it was definitely focused, structured, what we talked about and the different scenarios around it. And for that, I thank you. You're amazing. It's really cool.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. We'll catch up next time. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.